Okay,
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Jim Russell. I'm the chairman of the committee. And we're just going to go through call to order, call this meeting to order. 3 p.m. and I'll call it to order. Does any member, before we start, have any pecuniary interest?
None here.
None. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have approval of minutes from last meeting.
I don't have any for you.
We don't have any for it. Okay, yeah, I didn't see that. Application for consent to severance B-01- sorry, you got a
Okay,
question, sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask Mr. Burns a question.
Yes, please.
Since I read Mr. Fazio's mea culpa letter, and it seems like it was a simple error, and I'd like to hear Mr. Burns because he was here through it, and if it's accurate, why are we reinventing the wheel?
Yeah, so they went through the process of the severance. It was all approved back in 2023. And then when the paperwork was filed, it was filed in such a way that the severance was completed, but then immediately the properties merged back together. So it was I would say a clerical error. And so, but I mean, if I'd had a choice, I would have just go ahead and we'll make this happen, but I couldn't. It had to come back to the committee to be reapproved. So technically this severance has already been approved once, exactly as it is today. Minor variances were obtained back at the time for side yard setbacks. So yeah, this application is what Mr. Fazio is stating is true.
Okay, so, Mr. Chair, am I in a position to move that we just pass it? And because it's already been passed once.
It's been passed once and I'm not sure, right, poll.
Yeah, that'd be fine. So, does anyone have any objections to just approving the application, or would you like to hear from the planner?
I'd like to hear from the planner. I've got a couple of questions.
Okay.
So let's follow through with this application. Okay, application for consent to the severance B-01-20225. Our first order of business today will be to consider the consent application B-01-2025 for property owned by 2515487 Ontario Limited. The address is 315 Alexandra Street. The purpose of this consent application is to sever an existing lot into the two lots to recognize the lot line created during construction of a semi-detached home. Public notice, the Planning Act requires that a public meeting be held in order to allow the committee to receive input from the general public with proposed variance. Notice of this meeting has been posted and circulated to owners in the areas affected as well as agencies. So go to the staff report. Planner is Jared Preston. Staff report provided by Mr. Jared Preston, planner for the Village of Point Edward. Jared, can you proceed, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee, members in the audience. My name is Jared Preston. I'm a planner for the County of Lambton, and I provide planning and land use services to the Village of Point Edward. So I'm just going to go over some brief background information on, why we're here today. So back in September 28th, 2023, we had a consent application go in to create two separate lots, each with an area of approximately 508 square meters, exactly 508.12 meters squared on the retained lot, and then the other lot 510.52 meters squared. This would accommodate a semi-detached dwelling with a unit on each of the lots. The applicant was also granted minor variance approval for those lots to reduce the minimum side yard width from the required 3 meters to 1.85 meters. So today we're getting the same application. The applicant's replying with the same dimensions to sever the exact two same lots with the current semi-detached dwelling. Both new parts were mistakenly merged, which the applicant is now applying to rectify the situation. Attached to the cover letter I presented was the old report that I provided back in 2023. We're going to continue to recommend approval for the proposed severance, as the current severance requirements for 350 Alexander Avenue is due to a technical error. It's consistent with all the policies placed in front of us. And even with the new information of the garden sheds, staff will still recommend that the Committee of Adjustment approve consent application B01 2025 with the standard severance conditions that are on there. And if Mr. Chair wants me to read out those conditions, I can do so.
Yes, we'll ask that you read those up, please.
Okay. So here's our standard conditions for B01 2025. The first condition being that the certificate of consent under section 5342 of the Planning Act shall be given within 2 years of the date of the notice of decision. The request for the certificate of consent shall be accompanied by a written submission that details how each of the conditions of severance have been fulfilled. That if the conditions are not fulfilled in that 2-year period, the consent expires, there is no ability to be extended. Second condition, that if necessary, a draft reference plan be prepared by the Ontario Land Surveyor for the purpose of facilitating the transaction of consent B01 2025, and that this plan be approved by the village prior to being deposited with the Land Registry Office. The reference plan shall also be submitted in digital format and be geo-referenced. The last condition is that the owner's solicitor provide a transfer in preparation to the village, together with a deposited reference plan if necessary, and a schedule describing the land to be transferred for the purpose of issuing a certificate of consent.
Thank you. Any questions? No?
No.
Question? Okay, thank you. Okay, is there any questions from the committee members for those present for Mr. Preston?
Yes.
That's cool.
With regards to the sheds, I
Yes.
believe I was on the original one and didn't see them included with the application at that time. Now, there was a few numbers bandied back and forth. I just would like to confirm the dimensions and the lot coverages to ensure they fit. Can someone give me those calculations?
Through the chair, I would like to get verbal confirmation from the applicant on the size. And then once that confirmation is down, I can go through the numbers.
Please.
Okay, can I get that?
Okay. Through the chair. So with a 10 by 8 garden shed for each lot, which I assume was what the applicants are telling me.
Right.
You're gonna be right at the 35% almost. So for the 500, for the retained lot, that's 508.12 meters squared. With the garden shed and the dwelling added up, you're gonna have 34.9% lot coverage on that property. Adding the 10 by 8 shed on the 510.52 meters square property, you're gonna have a 34.7% lot coverage.
Thank you.
So through the chair. So if there's any additions that the owners and the applicants are looking to do to that property in the future, they will for sure require a minor variance as we're at the limit, the maximum limit of 35%.
Mr. President.
Thank you,
Understood.
Chair.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Wicks.
Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of the application? Yes,
So
please address yourself.
myself, Frank Fazio,
Frank Fazio, thank you.
do you wish me to stand? Okay.
You're fine, you're fine.
Okay. So the way this came about, this mistake was that at the bottom of the stamp, but back in the old days, we used to have a nice little tidy stamp. They'd come and see the clerk, we'd get a stamp, it was done. Since then, they've done a lot of changes to the Planning Act, so they developed a form, which replaces the stamp. At the bottom of the form, it says subsection 50 sub 3 and sub 5 of the Planning Act applies to any subsequent conveyance or transaction involving a parcel of land is the subject of this consent. So because you can have a form with that line or without that line, one of these consent forms. Unfortunately, this line is in there, which means effectively you get one chance to sell the property to another person. If you put it in the same name again, both sides, you've remerged them, which is exactly what I did. So as Mr. Melly said, I'm here to fall on the sword, because if I'd have caught the two lines on the bottom, I would have saved myself a few bucks.
I understand.
And, that been so embarrassed. But it happens, we're flying as fast as we can sometimes, and that was just missed. And that's really all that this is. I won't make that mistake ever again.
And by the way, the one property is sold,
Yes.
and we have a new owner living in the one right now without paying for it, so
Okay,
we're hoping to get this done and closed so we can get paid.
I understand.
And also, we appreciate the quickness of the meeting, it's much appreciated. I know it's not your regular time, so. appreciate it.
Yes, no, that's fine, that's fine. Thank you for your input and I appreciate it. Anybody else? No? No, okay. So is there anyone that's speaking in opposition? Have you received anything?
No,
No.
no correspondence.
Okay. So is there any correspondence to be read? I don't think so. No, nothing there, okay. Okay, it's up to the committee to make a decision. We feel free, you have enough information to make a
Mhm.
decision.
Absolutely.
That's good. Okay. So could I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I move that the application for severance be approved.
So second.
So second.
Yeah, second. Good.
Thank you.
Just all in favor.
Sorry?
Just ask for all in favor.
Mr. Chairman, how long would the appeal period be in this case? 20 days?
Yeah, it's usually
No.
40 days, yeah.
I have a date with the office in 20 days.
Okay. Could I have a show of hands to agree? They all agree, all in favor? Very good, for the past.
Thank you.
Good.
We just need a motion to adjourn.
Oh, yeah. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
So move, second. Yeah. See, you did it on this one.
Listen, I don't want to have.
We done?
Many of them.
Just, no.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're done.
my only is in the office.